Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. Great to have you with me here today. Excited to start the week off right with our Motivation and Mindset Monday. I know we have a lot of new listeners tuning into the Cabral Concept. I appreciate you and welcome aboard. And what I wanted to do today on this special edition of the Mindset and Motivation Monday is pull together a lot of concepts that we've broken down into much larger shows and pull them together into a 12-point and 12-path structure that will allow you to move forward with any goal you have in life. And one of the things that you're going to notice about our Mindset and Motivation Mondays is it's not just about visualization. It's not just about wishing and wanting and dreaming. It's about how to actually make those things come to fruition in the real world. So I'm a big believer in the mindset. I'm a big believer that you can achieve anything that you want in life, but there are steps to this process. At many points in my life, I did not know the process. I didn't have the process. So what I would do is stumble around, hope that I'd be successful, but never really know if I would be or not. And once I realized that there's actually a plan to this, that there's a way to improve any area of your life, things started to click. Now I know, and I have a different philosophy, and I'll be sharing that with you today, that it's never a matter of if. It's never a matter of if, no matter what your goal. To me, it doesn't matter if it's wellness-based, weight loss-based, if it's relationship-based, if it's spirituality-based, or it's career-based. Those are the big five that I try to help people with and just try to guide them because I think most areas of life fit into those. Now, there's kind of subset groups, etc. But what I tell people is this, is that it's never a matter of if. It really isn't. I believe now we have the knowledge, we have the know-how that we're able to achieve whatever we can dream about, right? So if we can dream about it, we can achieve it. But the problem is we don't always know the when. So we can achieve it, but we don't know the when. Now, we can help the when along. We can move the when along faster once we are set on a plan. And to me, that's what I want to share with you today. I want to give it to you in a concise manner, and then I would love you to go back to previous podcasts at stephencabral.com/podcasts and begin to immerse yourself at a deeper level for how to put this formula to work for you. And when I say that, it's not woo-woo or anything like that, I don't want to also degrade or put down the philosophy, the mindset of the law of attraction. Because we are attracting things into our life. We know that from a quantum physics and quantum mechanics-based level, that there are different frequencies of objects, and they do attract. So we want to talk about that. But what I want to do is, that's not going to help us today. That's not going to help us in the real world. We can try to wrap our head around that as we're moving forward in life. And I think that's a great thing to do. What I want to go over today now are those 12 steps. I'm going to give them to you right now. And that first step is this. You need to first start with a burning desire. Many people have mentioned this before, but it can't be a strong want. It can't be, I would like to achieve that, or it would be nice if it happened. It has to become a must. It has to become a no compromise. That this is something that you're going to achieve no matter what. That it's not even a possibility that you won't achieve it. So, for example, when I was extremely sick, there was nothing more than I wanted than to get well, to get my energy back, to get my mood back, to get everything back, right? To feel healthier again, to feel basically alive. I mean, that's why the last part of my book, where it says how a 6,000-year-old secret holds the answer to finally getting well, losing weight, and feeling alive again. Because I wanted to feel alive again. You could tell me I was well or not well, I had this disease or that disease, but really I wanted my life back. So that's what I'm trying to help people with, to revitalize that. And of course, myself back in the day. That's what I wanted. And I said, no matter what, I'm just going to continue to stick with it. That's it. I'm going to keep living my life, but I'm going to figure this out. So I need you to come up with a goal, not 50 goals, just one for now. What's that one thing that if you accomplish that, you'd be doing so much better in life? You'd be so much happier. Start with that. We'll hit them all. We'll get all of them, but let's start with one first. So that burning desire, that absolute want, it is a must in your life that must happen. Okay, number 2 is this. Focus down. Drill down on what it is about that one thing. So for me, I needed to know exactly what I wanted in that one thing. And it was this. I wanted to wake up not tired every single morning. I didn't want to feel like a zombie until 11 a.m. I wanted to be able to get up, start the day, and be excited about life. I also wanted the energy to be able to not miss an hour or so of sleep and then be sick the next day with swollen glands and sinus infection and bronchitis, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't want that weak immune system. So I knew I wanted the energy. I wanted to be able to really exercise to the capacity I wanted. I wanted to be able to go out with friends on a Saturday night and not, be sick the next day. So I wanted that. I knew what I wanted. And I need you to really now get to specifics. I need you to drill down on what it is that you want. So if it's career, great. Name the career that you want. Look at the hours that you want, who you want to be working with. If you're a health coach, what hours do you want to be coaching people? What do you want your niche to be? Do you want to work with just women over 40? Do you want to work with women in fertility, women menstrual cycles? Do you want to work with men and exercise, men and boosting testosterone? Do you want to work on just gut health? Do you want to work with just kids and food sensitivities? What is it? Get very specific. How many people would you like to work with a day? Do you want to be working with them with functional medicine labs? Do you want to be working with them just on overall healthy lifestyle? What is it that you want? If you're looking to lose weight, I want to lose weight. Well, how much weight do you want to lose? You have to put it out there. You need to start focusing in on exactly what it is that you want. Because if you don't put it out there, if you don't even know, you don't have a target to reach for. And if you don't have a target to reach for, you'll have to go back and listen to this podcast. But it's the SMART goal setting system. That's the success formula. And it's not specific. You have to get specific. So really drill down on exactly what it is that you want. If you want to lose 34 pounds, good, 34 pounds. And then check out my other podcast about how to work backwards on achieving that in a specific deadline and timeline. Number 3 is this. I need you to begin to suspend disbelief. And again, there's a podcast on each of these topics that I did for about 20 minutes. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes on each one right now. So I need you to suspend disbelief. So when you've been sick for a long time, you don't believe you'll ever get well. When you've been overweight for a long time, you don't feel you'll ever take the weight off or keep it off. You might have lost it before, but it comes right back on. Same with relationships. You might have had some good relationships and then eventually they fizzled out. You might have had decent careers or maybe never had a great career. Or maybe you went to school, took a job that you thought would pay the bills, those types of things, but it doesn't leave you feeling satisfied or like you have purpose at the end of the day. Same with spirituality. You might not feel that connected with the world around you, the universe, or your God. So we want to look at all of those things. And I need you to say, as I know that you may not have achieved them yet. Most likely, most of us have not achieved all the goals that we want for ourselves in life. So we start to believe that they may not happen. Might not happen, right? It's just not in the cards. No one in your family's ever achieved anything like that, et cetera, right? The excuses come out. We've all had them. I've had them as well. So what I need you to do is not necessarily believe right away, because a lot of people can't believe. They feel like hypocritical or they feel like an imposter. So all I need you to think about is this, is that this possibility. Just don't say it won't happen. It's possible, right? It's possible. And how can you say that it's possible? Well, other people in the world have achieved your goal, right? There has to be one other person, right? When I was looking to open up a wellness center, I'd never done that before. I said, there's probably one other wellness center out there, right? Yeah, of course there is, right? So that you can say, all right, now I at least have a physical reality of the dream that I want to achieve that someone else already has. And I don't wish ill upon them, but I simply want to be able to duplicate that success as well in my own way. If someone else was 100 pounds overweight, 200 pounds overweight, and they lost the weight, certainly you could as well. And don't blame it on genetics. Believe me, Someone has your same genetics or worse. That's what I've learned. Someone has as bad as my genetics or worse. That's how I look at it. And the good thing is good. And I know how I can heal. And I can know how to not let those genetic SNPs, those single nucleotide polymorphisms, and the genes within my DNA dictate my life. My genes are not my destiny. How I choose to live my life becomes my destiny. So what I want you to look at is simply that you might not have the answer yet, but that's okay. Because if you already had the answer, you'd probably be at your goal. So all I need you to do is suspend disbelief long enough to go out there and begin to search for that answer, search for that blueprint, to be able to copy someone else's success until you can make it your own. And I don't mean copy as in steal it. I mean, look at the blueprint. What did this person do to lose the weight? What do they do to get well? What do they do to create great relationships? What do they do to move up in their career? Or what do they do to have greater spirituality? Same with self-talk. I did a podcast on this. And it was something about like, don't be your own worst enemy. A lot of us, we would never hang out with anyone that spoke to us in the same way as we speak to ourselves. And, sometimes when I say that to people, they laugh a little bit, but it's the truth. You can't put yourself down. You can't look in the mirror and say, oh, I can't believe I'm aging like this. Oh, look at the gray hair. Look at the wrinkles. Look at the whatever, right? Look at I'm 50 pounds overweight, whatever it is. I feel fat. I look fat. All of these different things. And we're putting ourselves down. But we're also looking ourselves in the eye, in the mirror, reinforcing those beliefs. It's pretty much the worst thing that you could do. Well, it is the law of attraction. It's the law of attraction to get more of that. You're looking yourself in the eye and saying, I'm fat, I'm old, I'm etc. And you just keep reprogramming that into your brain. And during the day, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that. You very well may be. But you cannot talk to yourself that way. You need to start talking to yourself in the way that's conducive to achieving your goals. That is the only way to break the cycle. And you might say, yes, but I don't feel that way. And I say, that's okay. It's okay in the beginning to not feel that way because we have to create new actions and new self-talk in order to feel another way. There's no other way to feel another way if you're constantly stuck in one particular mode. All right, so now let's go over the plan. So it's great to feel it inside yourself, right? In your belly, your heart, of what you want to achieve, to focus in what it is that you want, to begin to suspend self-disbelief, to begin to improve your self-talk, to start to talk to yourself in a more positive way, like someone you'd like to hang around with. And now we need to set up that plan. Two things about this. One, you don't need to come up with a plan yourself. If you haven't achieved whatever it is that you desire, you most likely don't know how. And that's okay. We never know how to take that next step or whatever that next goal is until we reach it in hindsight, until we look back like, oh, okay, of course I should have known that. Yes, of course. We all should have known everything, but we don't until we've already achieved it. So what you need to do is hire a coach, hire a personal trainer, hire a doctor, hire whatever it might be. Take the functional medicine lab, a dating coach, whatever it is. But you need a plan that someone else has used to be successful in achieving exactly what you want. That's it. You need to start somewhere. Is it going to be the perfect plan for you? No. And this is where the next step comes in. You need to be able to allow yourself to be flexible. So you have the plan, and again, I've gone over this as well, but there are times when you're going to have to make a slight pivot. It does not mean that you throw the whole plan out. It means that, okay, you were given a plan by your nutritionist to help with GI-based issues, bloating, gas, acid reflux, etc. And you're doing it, and it's working a little bit, but you're having issues after lunch. Like you still get bloating after lunch, but now not in the morning anymore. You don't say that the plan didn't work. You go back to your nutritionist and you say, okay, I feel better in the morning, but I'm still getting bloated after lunch. Why would that be? Because they'll most likely have an answer for you. If they've worked with a couple hundred people or a couple thousand people, you're not going to be the first person to mention that to them. Because even though we're all unique, we come up with the same 20, 30 issues that go along. We've seen this again many, many times in my practice. So all we do is say, okay, now here's what we need to do. And they give you the next step, but you can't get every step of what you need to do on your journey until you've taken the first few. And it's also why you don't turn back to the starting line without continuing to understand that you're going to have to zigzag, that it won't be a straight line to the finish, and you're going to have to pivot a few times. So just keeping that in mind is super important. One other thing I want to let you know too, this will be our next step. Much of the time, so you're probably not going to be able to speak with your coach, your doctor, your mentor, your whatever it might be every day, right? That's probably not going to be the case. But what we've done, and one thing that I think that you can do yourself, because it's obviously there's no cost to it, in our integrative health practitioner program, we talk about the buddy system. We tell people like, get a small group of people together. Once a week, get on a Skype call. Have a bunch of people on a Skype call. Share your ideas. Share your questions. Share your struggles. Share your successes. We do that every day inside of CabralSupportGroup.com. It's a free private Facebook group. That's it. Share your struggles. Share your successes. Let other people give you some of their guidance from some of their trials and tribulations and what they found so that you don't need to spend your entire life figuring this out. The reason why I started reading thousands of books is because I said to myself, I don't have enough lifetimes to learn what all of these other health practitioners, doctors, and smart people wrote about and figured out in their life. So I read these books, and it's about 15, 20, 30 years of these people's practice. And now I don't need to go through the same 15, 20, 30 years of their practice. I can read what they're saying. And then if I read enough of the books and I see overlap, I say, okay, there must be something to this. I've got all these smart people saying pretty much the same thing, just in a little different way. I should probably heed this advice. I should probably say, okay, this is something I need to pay attention to. And if it doesn't work perfectly, it probably isn't all of the authors. It just means that I need to tweak it a little bit more, make it a little bit more pertinent for my own life. So I need you to have that plan, but then also I need you to have people that you trust that you might be able to bounce some of these ideas off of. Whether it's an online group that's free or whether you have friends in the same path as you. Maybe you've got a couple friends that want to lose weight. You're all doing it together. Or a couple friends that are all more engaged in your own spirituality. And so you want to look at that. You want to look at really getting some support as well. Okay, the next one is this. I want you, once you have that plan, you're working with your friends, is to begin every day to take massive action. I need you to understand that no goals are achieved without action. I always go back to it, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. There's a great Amish saying or Amish prayer that goes, as you pray, move your feet. Beautiful. And I'll get to the faith in just a moment. But you have to continue to work towards your goals on a daily basis. Now, that doesn't mean that you should be stressed about them, but you should continue to take action on exactly what you need to do. Don't do all the stuff that doesn't matter. I've been teaching this inside of the Integrative Health Practitioner course and certification as well. I've been telling people, listen, don't give people information that doesn't matter. Don't give them a plan that doesn't matter. In your own life, don't do it for yourself if it's not going to be a needle mover. There's too much to do in life. People have too many responsibilities. Only do the things that you either enjoy or that are actually going to move the needle. So important. And then take action on that every day. The next part to that follows right along is be persistent. You have to have persistence. There's nothing else. Again, I have no special powers. I have no super abilities. I've taught myself certain things. The only thing that I might be able to do that's a step up is that I've taught myself to read at a fast speed. And I've done a podcast on that as well. And that's allowed me to just take in more information and my brain just holds on to it. So that's one thing, that's it. But everybody has a one thing. But that's my one thing, that's it. But everything else in life, no, it's just persistence. It's literally willing to just push through, even sometimes when you feel like the entire massive boulder is rolling back down on you every day, or it rolls back down the hill every single day, and you have to bring it back to the top of the hill. That is sometimes the way that life goes. You need to just continue to push on every day, even when you're not making progress. So you're on a weight loss plan and you gained a pound that week. You can't give up. You have to push forward. There's no other choice. You must move forward. And by moving forward, you're going to find your answers, but you will never find your answers by giving up. If you're looking to get well, how many times did I relapse? 100 or more? And I gave up many times, but I got back on the horse. I started back up again. And that's what I need you to do as well. Another one is this, is that sometimes, and we're going to end with this one because I'm going to combine these two, is that you have to have faith in something, sometimes outside of yourself. I love people to have faith in themselves. So that was this note, faith in yourself. But a lot of people don't have faith in themselves because of either their upbringing, how they've been treated in life, their previous accomplishments, failures, etc. So I need you to have faith then in someone else. Maybe it's a coach, a mentor, a personal trainer, nutritionist, a friend, etc. Or I need you to have faith in the plan that you're following. But I need you to have faith in what you feel is a power that's going to lift you up to that next level. So it can be God. It can be the universe. It can be whatever you believe in, that you feel that there is this power that if you don't have it, you're able to call upon that. So that in your hardest times, you don't give up. That you understand that life can sometimes be a struggle. Not all the time. It should be better more times than not. But sometimes there will be a struggle. And when you don't feel like you have the power, I need you to be able to draw on that power from something outside of yourself. And then as you start to get your wins and get your accomplishments, I need you to do this. I need you to understand that the power is within you. It's always been within you. And that even when you call on that power outside of yourself, whether it be the universe, God, mentor, friends, family, it is you who's calling upon others. It's always inside of you. And there's nothing wrong with ever relying on anyone, anything else. There isn't. But at the end of the day, you've been given all the power that you need in order to heal yourself. Heal yourself, lose the weight, move up, advance in your career, or choose a career that provides you true passion. Reach a deeper level of spirituality or find the relationship and create the relationship that you truly want. If you follow this system, and I know today was an abbreviated one of all the different points, but you can go back and listen to those. But I truly believe that if you have the want and if you have the desire and you begin to change your belief system, change your self-talk, take daily action, understand it's not going to be perfect and you're going to have to pivot, but you'll be persistent on even on the days and the weeks and maybe the months that you're not making progress, and believe that sometimes there is a greater power that we can call upon when we're in our darkest moments. If you do that and you continue to push forward, there is no doubt you will be successful. Remember, it's not a matter of if, it's simply a matter of when. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Mindset and Motivation Monday. It's been my pleasure chatting with you today. As always, if this information was helpful, please do feel free to share this with anyone else you believe it could serve. Take care. I want to sincerely thank you for your support of this podcast. I couldn't do it without you, and I mean that. I truly do. I also want to make sure you knew that we now have multiple ways for you to find your answers to the most difficult health, wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging questions. You can find podcast-specific topics like thyroid, adrenal, hormones, sleep, digestion, Ayurveda, and many more at stevencabral.com/podcasts that will then link you to your favorite Apple, Spotify, and other podcast players. Plus, all new podcasts and weekly exclusive video content is being added to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Stephen Cabral. And that's Stephen with a PH. Head on over and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the exclusive content. Lastly, if you've ever found any of my podcasts or books to be helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes or your favorite media player for the podcast. Rating and subscribing to the YouTube and podcast allow me to reach more and more people and help spread my mission of healing throughout the world. Thank you again for being a part of this movement.